What's up, guys? All right. So, the newest obstacle in my life over this past year, get the coronavirus. Part two. Part two. This time, I would say it's not as bad as last time. Last time, I couldn't get out of the bed. I was throwing up all over the place. Man, I was filling up the whole floor, whole bathroom floor. This time, no throwing up. If I had a fever, but because I had got it so early with it, early in the developments last year, like it wasn't a widespread thing. People weren't really doing the whole quarantine thing just yet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to experience life isolated from everyone. And well, now this time I do, which is very tough. That's very tough because I really miss my daughter, as you could imagine, and I have to ride this out for the rest of the week through the weekend, and hopefully I test negative. Okay, so let me just say, over the past 3 months or so, I've been on and off sick. Like it would feel like I had a bad head cold, and then it would go away. Then after a day or so, it'll come back, and it'll go away, and it'll come back. I didn't really think too much of it. I mean, actually, I did think some things of it. Like I was wondering, like my immune system has never been like this before. What the hell is going on? It started happening like 2 weeks after I got jumped, and my body had to work really hard to recover such a short period of time. I feel like if I was dealing with the coronavirus for that long, my body was that. I mean, that would have been the time to do it when my body had to work to heal from other things. Uh, for all I know, I could have had a series of like codes and stuff like that or whatever, and then it opened up the gates for the coronavirus. I don't know, but I think I was being very irresponsible because a month after I was experiencing these things, maybe I should have gotten tested. You know, uh, because I got tested for STDs and stuff like that just to clear that part up. You know what I'm saying? I was like hoping, like I take the coronavirus over, HIV or something like that, man. I want to make light of that, but it's true. And I'm just glad that out of all my family members, only a couple of us have it. My daughter didn't get it, which honestly it questions how um contagious it is because I mean my daughter, I mean sh a lot of body contact. Like she sleeps on me frequently, or she slept on me frequently. All right, she didn't have it. Her mom, my child's mother. We been intimate and stuff like that. She didn't get it. Her son didn't get it. Nobody in this house has it. Um, and so I'm glad about that. Yesterday I did have a lot of uncertainty. My uncle died yesterday. He had COVID-19. He also had a lot of pre-existing conditions. But because I deal with depersonalization still, I have a tough time distinguishing pain from nothing at all. That's the tough part. And so uncertainty is definitely not good when you're dealing with depersonalization. Because I had to keep getting used to like just accepting the uncertainty. Just like, oh no, that's all right, man. Look, I'm just DP, man. I deal with this shit many times. Let me just play the game or something like that. But it was increasingly tough yesterday because my chest was definitely in a lot of pain, a lot of sharp pains, and I was feeling pains in my arms and stuff, and But I took immediate action, reached out to some people, reached out to some holistic doctors that I know of, and you know, they sent me some. I got some stuff sent to me. In fact, I was making a joke on Facebook today, talking about how I can't smell anything, and so it'd be a good time to convince me that your shit doesn't stink. Um, and then I was talking about how I can't taste anything, just being light and stuff. And then I guess a lot of people had come to the realization that it is COVID, and I confirmed it. I didn't make a post about it. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. My grandma was afraid when she found out. Like, she was crying very hard. Um, and people were giving me all types of tips and stuff. I appreciate that. People are reaching out to me right now. But yesterday I didn't make it good on myself. I can be pretty morbid sometimes without thinking about how it affects other people. And so, in my uncertainty, and I was a bit afraid yesterday morning, because the first thing I heard was my uncle had died, and it's tough. And I got caught up in the fear porn that I warn people against, and hearing all these things about COVID, and it can mutate, and somebody had it for 5 months, and then they died and stuff, and freaked out. I was kind of like, I think I'm going to die, and I put that on Facebook. And my aunt called me, and she thought I said I couldn't breathe. And then she started calling everybody in my family, my grandma, my mom, everybody. They freaking out. And you need to go to the hospital. You get an ambulance. I started freaking out a little bit even more. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I should go. I don't know. Like, I'm so out of touch. I'm so out of touch with what I feel, man. That's the tough thing about depersonalization. And so I started taking some vitamin C, and taking some garlic, and bringing in, getting the fluids and stuff like that. And by the end of the day, I had finally spoken to, the guy who today supplied me with the sea moss and the black sea oil, and elderberry tea and stuff like that. But after I talked to him yesterday, I felt kind of relieved. So I just wanted to make sure that I, took care of myself the best way I could, and took a couple hot showers. The second one especially was needed, because when I was trying to lay down, man, definitely was in a lot of pain in my chest. It just felt like a lot of heat in my chest. That's very uncomfortable. I was actually kind of afraid to go to sleep, man. Didn't know if I would wake up or not. It was one of the few times where I wondered if I would even wake up if I fell asleep. Again, because more fear porn. And it just so happened, because I got notifications set up for certain websites. I need to figure out how to take that shit down. The Daily Mail. And so it comes up with a 4-year-old who died in her sleep after having mild symptoms. Need to leave that shit alone. But all in all, because I wouldn't just make this video to say, oh, boo-hoo, am I going to die, and just rant and stuff. Ultimately, I just do want to say a couple of things. You know, I think not having pre-existing conditions is helping me. I'm glad that I've been sober for 9 months. I'm uh I'm glad, in some ways. I'm kind of glad that I had to deal with depersonalization, not for as long as I have, but having that experience to just like to move and to be proactive and do something about how you feel, and for the things that you can't control, just sit with it, dare it to kill you. I'm appreciative of that experience. It's tiring. I want it to be behind me, but I'm gonna keep signing up to fight for as long as it takes. And I think that, there was definitely some lessons to be had. Um, First of all, just to appreciate everything that you got going on in your life and just don't take it for granted. And a lot of people get caught up in their own personal lives, but don't let that fool you into thinking nobody cares about you, you know? And it's always a great time to educate yourself, and it's never a bad time to do right by your body. You know what I'm saying? Had me considering a lot of things, because, I was vegetarian for about 4.5 years. Um, then sometime, not last year, but 2019, then I had started eating seafood again. This year, I had started experimenting with like eating a little chicken here and there. You know what I'm saying? Not too much, but I have been. But I say all this to say, like, it had me really considering like my dairy intake. Now, I'm not the type of person to drink cow milk or something like that, but it might have something with dairy in it. Like I may get ice cream, or I might get a milkshake or something like that. And I just I think it makes sense to monitor my dairy intake, for example, because the mucus buildup makes it harder to fight off infections, which is the main reason why I've been taking the sea moss oil, the sea moss gel, and taking the vitamin C. You know, what's up, Brandy? I think that's Brandy. But yeah, that's why I took the time to make sure that I got that in my body, eat foods with vitamin C, and just to ride this wave out. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the week, I should be good to go. But I'm gonna go to the doctor next week because it's also something that I learned that I should be cautious about. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a fairly young guy, but I'm almost 30 years old, so I do gotta play it a little cautious. One thing that I want to, because since I'm going to the doctor next week, I kind of want to see about my heart. You know what I'm saying? See if I can get some EKGs or so, X-rays, whatever. Because although it doesn't seem like I'm going to die from COVID and things like that, it could have temporary effects on my heart that if I decide to push, you know, kind of ahead of time to start working out again, which I'm anxious to get back to, that could cause some troubles. Now, if I just rest and stuff like that, I'll be just fine. I'll get back to normal, and I'm still going to keep taking things that um, heart healthy. But you think about the young basketball player in college who died recently. He had COVID, and he was cleared to play, but he ended up dying. So I just want to make sure that even though I feel better, that I'm not being naive and I'm not letting up because this thing has a way of like mutating and is kind of some and some temporary effects that could work against me if I rush to get back to everything else that I was doing. And so, I mean, it sucks because I had some gains going. I gained some weight. I don't think I lost much. Went on the scale today. I'm still pretty much up there, but I had some gains going, and I missed that. But I want to live. I want to live as long as possible. You know what I'm saying? My uncle, he died. He was 61. He could have lived a lot longer, but he was an alcoholic and had gout and high blood pressure, all of these things, and you know, I don't want that to be the case for me. So I hate not wanting to make a declaration like this because I don't want to seem like a liar or a hypocrite, but I I plan on being sober, man, for the rest of my life. No matter how long it lasts, I plan on being sober. All right, that's the way to go. All right, I'll get used to, being around people where it's lit and everybody's having a great time off alcohol, and I'll be sober, and that's okay. What difference does it make if everybody is fucked up and I'm not? You know, I should especially not feel any type of nervous. They're not nervous. Nobody's nervous. They're in their zone. Whatever. And what are my symptoms right now? Right now, not too much of anything. I mean, some chills, but this is more so yesterday. But I guess I experienced some chills. Um, I've been having like little pains in my body, and maybe I'm talking too much right now, which is not good for me. Starting to feel some tightness in my chest, so I'll be cutting it short. You know what I'm saying? This is another thing where like I shouldn't be forcing it. Honestly, I just didn't want to go too much time without making another video, but um, I see right now that I'm definitely gonna need to take some time away because it's feels like almost like an anxiety attack coming on. That's how tight things are feeling. Other than that, I say I'm good. So with that being said, look, no matter how you feel at this present moment, I hope that you never have to deal with it. I hope you never uh, had to deal with it. Um, but I think now is the time to, if you can hear my voice, be proactive. Just treat yourself as if you do have it, as far as like, just make sure you take your vitamins. Make sure you get in a lot of vitamin C, all of those things, man. And love yourself. Now's not the time to really be involving yourself with destructive behavior because it can cost you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always said this and I've always noticed that you live and die by the same shit. And if you have a lifestyle of unhealthy things, it could catch up with you. But this is not something that you will want to mix with it. Because what I'm finding is that although the whole narrative about the COVID-19 has been overplayed, trust and believe it has been. One thing that is true is that it is a capitalist. This infection it capitalizes. You're not dealing with some amateur material right here. Like, it was definitely created in a lab, and the way that it works is that it will try to find other infections to hide behind. You know what I'm saying? Which is very dangerous because that will allow for it to mutate. Is my understanding. So if you're dealing with something like a tooth infection right now, um, you're dealing with things like a tooth infection right now, get that taken care of. Bacterial any type of infection, get that taken care of. All right. Every little ailment, like, just be on it. Just be extremely proactive. Don't let it go. All right. Don't be fearful, but definitely, hit it immediately, man. If you need to take a break from certain things like drinking and smoking, whatever you smoke, I mean, by all means, please do so. If you need to take a step back from dairy, whatever it is, you want to work out more, please. You know what I'm saying? Definitely do that. Thank you. Thank you, Mario. Yeah. So, with that being said, I've been grateful for all the support that I've been getting. It always seems like this sums up my life. Like, I've always been kind of on the outside, just like within my family, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to my family, I go out the least. And it's just like, I mean, probably not the exact least, but like, I don't get out much, you know what I'm saying? It's very fitting where like, I've always been kind of like the black sheep of the family and stuff like that. I'm the radical of the family. I'm just a fucking freedom fighter and shit like that. And I'm the only one who gets the COVID. But I think that I think I'll be, grateful for the experience. And it's I don't, it probably make for a good story. You know what I'm saying? Looking back at it, especially the way 2020 was, not 2021, but 2020 when I had it, and it was really vicious. And part two, but a different spin on it because I was already dealing with depersonalization, so it was just really tough to determine how bad something how bad something is. I mean, sometimes if I feel absolutely nothing, I kind of freak out. Like, I mean, or I did in the past, but you get used to shit like that. All right. I guess that's about it right now. I'm going to relax and you know, get back to self-medicating, I guess. I'm gonna take some garlic, some more sea moss, some more tea, elderberry tea. I'll drink some chamomile tea as well. Get some turmeric, take a hot shower. I didn't take my vitamin C yet today, so I'll do that. Maybe eat some fruit stuff. Took the colloidal silver, and so all right. Best wishes, y'all. I mean, for real, man. Take care of yourselves. I don't care how low your self esteem may be right now, how fucked up your depression is. Push through that shit. Do something about it, man. Because like like you may not put your life on a big pedestal. You know what I'm saying? You might not care too much about your life. It may be shit, but other people care about you. And on top of that, man, like fearing for your life is just not, like when you feel like you ran out of time and in those split seconds where wish you could have done things different. I mean, you don't know if you're dying or not. Chances are you probably aren't, but like if it's anxiety or something like that, you're just freaking out. Um, it's it's not very comforting. And I don't want you to ever get to the point where you feel so isolated and caught up in a space where you feel like you can't connect to anybody just because, your anxiety got so bad that maybe you're dealing with a type of depersonalization or something like that. I don't know. Hopefully you never have to deal with that. Or anything that anything mentioned in this video, man. I hope things, work out for you, but don't take it for granted, you know. But something like COVID didn't have to come up for me to relay that message to you. There's people dealing with all types of shit in this world. And very soon this will be behind me, you know? And very soon this will be behind us all. But there will always be, more elements to worry about. There'll always be more obstacles, more traps that we unknowingly and knowingly set for ourselves. All right, but I still leave, and so I should. All right, take care.